Order 1886 is a game that for many years has flown under the radar, mainly down to its mixed reception for how short the game was. This game was announced June 11th, 2013, and it would release for the PlayStation 4 on February 20th, 2015. It gave it a 2-year development span, worked on by Ready at Dawn, known for their PSP games, now making VR games. Like I said, the game was received very mediocrely. The criticisms were directed at how short the game was, which laddered the story and linearity as critiques. The Gears of War franchise succeeded, I think, with this design because of the gameplay versatility, because of the story. Those games were like 8 hours long and had likable characters, great level design, and tons of world interactability. I think that's what Order 1886 was trying to achieve for, which is why things like the production value were amped up. The score for the game is also notable because it's actually pretty good. The gunplay, I'd say, is actually good for a game like that, and visually, it is definitely one of the best looking games of its time, at least, which is weird saying. Yeah, the game had other things to talk about, like its noticeably low frame rate. It was also, and because of how short it was known for its lack of replayability value. It was continuing what most other third person shooters had done before, like Spec Ops The Line. With a lack of innovation, though, in a merely interactable world, it's why I think this game was given such a half baked reception. It had good gameplay elements to work with, visuals to work with, but due to the time it released, which was a time where critics started criticizing games for having too many cutscenes, it did not have the ability to do that. And also, like I said, the stories would ladder the game. Because of its short time, there was no time to really grow with the characters, so character growth was non existent. And it was also very linear and didn't really expand much gameplay wise compared to games like Uncharted, which had done that years before, though its spectacle was notable because the physics and sound design were intact. It had a good soundtrack to work with, it was very energetic, but it just didn't have the time to do that. Game set in Victorian London would work well for a game like this, and it is a good idea. Fighting werewolves and whatever other people you can fight with really cool weapons is a good idea. This game is a good idea. Visually, it is a good idea. I guess the problem with Order 1886 for its time was that because it was a $60 game, and for the time it took to beat the game, which was like 6 hours long, it didn't have enough really going for it. It didn't really have the spectacle and the impact games like Uncharted did, and a game like Bloodborne, which released after this game, did what this game did, but better because it was able to balance out everything it could at once. And I think that's what Order 1886 was. It was a foundation that could have been good had it just been longer and had more time to flesh out its own story. And that is what it was.